Sir, research on final stage. What took so long? Forget me. Delays. Be punished. Sir, just get things started, will you? We will rule the world just like the World 3. Fool, not like the World 3. Don't begin project. Sir! ACDC School, Den City, last day of school. Lan, you're on time today. If you got up early, you wouldn't have to run so much. Thanks, Mega Man. I feel so much better now. Now, you haven't forgotten what today is, right? Not likely. It's the last day of school, vacation time. And report card time, too. No problem there. You sure? Hey, let's go make plans for vacation. Hey everyone, and welcome to Mega Man Battle Network 2. The second game in a very, very long series of RPGs that came out on the Game Boy Advance over the course of the first half of the 2000s. I grew up on these games, I love them very much, and being that this is the sequel to Mega Man Battle Network 1, which we did a playthrough of last year as of this recording, I'm going to somewhat assume that you have seen that. I'm not going to do too much like reintroducing characters and whatnot, but I will follow along with the tutorials and reintroducing combat, especially as a lot of the combat has actually been tweaked a little bit and improved over the previous game. A lot's still the same, but there are a few significant things that have changed, and we'll go through the tutorials and reintroduce all that. But in terms of the story, I'm going to assume you've seen Battle Network 1. So you know Lan, you know Mega Man, you know their relationship, you know Mail and Yai and Dex and all those characters. So, let's get started. On the last day of school. Hello, Mail. Good morning, Lan. Hey, Mail. Morning. Lan, Dex was looking for you just now. Oh, was he? We'll have to go talk to him in a little bit. Right. First, press plus on your pet to open the menu. Then, you can read Mail and organize your chip folder. Press L to talk to your Navi inside the pet. Of course, I'll probably forget everything anyway. Lan, you got Mail. Alright, well you may have already noticed that this game's looking a little bit better than a Game Boy Advance game normally does. The title screen was a little bit cleaner, the font is very, very clean, definitely not pixelated like the rest of the game is, and those controls are definitely not Game Boy Advance controls. Heck, we even have like a little background behind the game. I'm playing on the Legacy Collection, the re-release that came out in May of this year, of 2023. So excited it's here. It makes quite a few pretty nice improvements in the game. It's mostly just a faithful remake and port, but there are some pretty important things that it did upgrade and change, like the improved font. I don't personally like the improved font so much, to be honest, but it's fine, it doesn't look bad. There's a few other things that the port added, the remake added, but we'll be getting into those as we get to them. Let's go ahead and check out that email we just got. More viruses. Viruses, which became scarce after World 3, are now on a rise again. Electronic devices infected by viruses may cause damage. Good to know. Very bad that the viruses are on the rise again, but at least we know to keep an eye out for them. Hello there. There's a book here about our pet terminals. Want me to tell you about it? Sure. Okay, I'll teach you, but it's kind of long, okay? I'm sure it's fine. PET is short for Personal Terminal. Your PET is a portable link to the net, get it? It's kind of like a cell phone, but it does a lot more. You can send mail, use electronic money, and read textbooks. Effectively, it's a smartphone. The NetNavi program inside helps if you have a problem. The NetNavi in your pets is called Mega Man. Well, thank you for that overview. Morning, Lan. You're always having fun with Mega Man. I wish my Navi was as fun as yours is. Now hold on, don't say that where your Navi can hear, that's kinda rude. Sometimes there are battle chips lying around class. I don't see any here though. I believe he's correct, there's no current chips in the classroom, but it does happen from time to time. Hey, vacation starts tomorrow, whoopee! It sure does. Hello there, Yai. Yo, Yai. Why, if it isn't Lan, good morning. I suppose you want to hear about my collection, right? Sure. Well, I'm collecting Electopian fans. They're like little pieces of fan-shaped art, you see. A special privilege of the upper class, I suppose. Well, you probably wanted to understand. No, I don't understand you rich people. I understand the compulsion to collect. I have a pretty big physical game library. Not the biggest in the world, but it takes up quite a bit of space for me. But like, no, I don't collect fans. And you calling it a rich people thing, I suddenly don't want to collect fans. Of course you don't. It's okay. They're mine anyway. And final person to talk to is Dex. Morning, Dex. Yo, Lan. Hey, let's do some net surfing after school, okay? I'll tell you about it later. Ah, teacher's coming. The teacher's here. Good morning, class. Are you excited about vacation yet? Woohoo! Do you all know what you're going to do? I'm going to my grandpa's place for my vacation. Something little for me. A round-the-world cruise, maybe. Oh my god, Yai, please stop being rich. I hate you so much already. Well, it sounds like you all have wonderful plans. But don't forget about your homework. Yes, Miss Mari. Now the moment you have been waiting for. Report cards. No! Ah! Lan? Do you have something to share? Okay, class, have a nice vacation and be safe. Yes, Miss Mari. Yes, Miss Mari. Lan? Dex? Lan? Dex, is something wrong? Miss Mari, I think you know what's wrong. Anything you want to share with me, Lan? No, Mega Man, no. In fact, there's nothing to share. Hey, there you are. Now we can talk. You hear about the new square on the net. I hear they're looking for city net battlers there. I don't know what a city net battler is, but it sounds cool. I invited Mail and Yai too. We can all go together, yeah? The meeting place is on the net at the square entrance. Jack in and send Mega Man online when you get home, okay? Did you hear that, Lan? The square is like a city on the net for us net Navis. You can shop and talk to other Navis. It's a lot of fun. Well, that is new and very exciting. We'll have to check that out for sure. Hello, Yai. That net thing Dex was talking about, I'll pass. I wouldn't want to miss my daily afternoon ablutions. That means bath, not that you'd know. Alright, Yai, that is 3 strikes. That is 3 strikes, you are out. Goodbye, Yai. You really should do your homework. But then again, it sounds like Dex is onto something. I'll be there too. Dang, Mail, the responsible student, is actually going to skip out on homework. Well then. Alright, heading out of school, welcome to ACDC Town, our hometown. Before we head home, we're gonna do a quick tour around the city, just real quick. Gonna go and talk to everyone. The blue house down there is where that land boy lives. That pink place, the kid there is named Mail, I think. I'm a salesman. Knowing who lives where is my job. Yet that doesn't mean you need to know where the kids live, and you probably really shouldn't know the houses first by the kids who live there. That's kind of creepy, sir. There used to be a store here, but now it's gone. Oh no, Higsby's closed! What happened? There's a flyer posted here. Something's written on it. Closed temporarily for personal reasons, huh? Oh no, Higsby, I hope everything's okay. Alright, over here at the northeast corner of town, we have the park. Pets are like so cool, it would be so lame without one. I mean, this is a very network-oriented world, so yeah, being unable to access the net would be a problem. Check out my chip folder, it's full of cool battle chips. Man, I want more battle chips too. Ah, look at these kids collecting. Collecting what are effectively trading cards. Anyone up here? No. Let's circle the block real quick. I know there's at least one more person here. You can plug pets into appliances. That's jacking in. Jacking in sends your Navi onto the net, see? Even old folks can do it. Just press R. Alright, good advice. Thank you. Coming over here. Hey, you know about virus busting? I do, but tell me. It's when you jack into your pets to fight viruses on the net. You fight viruses with your Navi and delete them. That's why virus busting is so important. Well, thank you for the information. Up here in the northwest corner of town, we have Yai's house. It is absolutely massive. This house here is the biggest house in ACDC Town. Heck, it might just be the biggest house in Den City. Must be nice being rich, but it's not the life for me. Same here. Alright, heading down to the southeast block of town, we've got Dex's house, and this man. You can see your battle chips with the pets menu library. All the data on all your chips is in there. Useful, huh? I've got over 100 chips in my library. You, sir, have way too specific and unique of a design to be just a random person who teaches us about the library. Who are you? Mail and Dex haven't gone home yet. Well, that's odd. I would have thought they would have gone straight home to get on the net. Over here in the southwest block, we have Mail's house, and finally, our house, with a man standing in front of it. Hello there, I'm here from Den Gas. You had a problem with the gas appliance there or something? Huh? Isn't that Miss Yai's house? Well, get right on it. Yeah, Yai's house is up to the northwest. You're in the wrong place. I'm sorry, sir. Alright, welcome home. Hello, Mom. Welcome home, Lan. How was school? Fine, Mom. That's nice. Now, what was I gonna ask you? Oh, right, report? No, I didn't say anything. You don't remember anything. Lan! I know you've got it, so let's see it. Oh, crap. Got what, Mom? Don't you what me? Your report card? That's what. Darn, I was hoping you'd forgotten. Okay. Well, now, let's see. What? Lan! Uh-oh. Don't you uh-oh me, young man. Lan, maybe you should apologize. You're right. Mom, I'm sorry. Now can I go play on the net? Lan, if I was your mom, you'd be grounded right now just for even trying that. Apology's not gonna fix bad grades. You need to actually, try a little bit harder, please. Most certainly not. Homework first. Oh, I'm with her, honestly. Do your homework. I know it's very annoying, and I wish schools didn't give it, but it is good practice. They give it for a reason. You heard the boss. Homework first. Use R to jack into the PC. Alright, let's do it. Let's go do some homework. Lan, we're in the computer cyber world. Before we go out to play, I'll start the homework program. Wonder if everyone went straight home. Well, I'll start today's homework program. We'll begin by reviewing basic virus busting techniques. Now then, time to review some virus busting. Time for the tutorials. No matter what you do, never forget the basics. I'll explain again how to beat viruses from the beginning. First, you must send chip data to your NetNavi. Make your selection in this custom window. Select the chip to send to your Navi out of these. The selected chip's data is shown here. Here's the attack force. Next is this, the virus's HP, hit points, or endurance. Normally, you can only send one chip per turn, but you can send two of the same chips, such as cannon and cannon. Doing that, you can use many weapons, an effective technique. Now, let's try actually selecting a chip to send to the Navi. Use A to select, R shows information. You can attempt to escape by pressing L. Now then, try selecting a chip. So yeah, new feature in this game. In Battle Network 1, you could not try to escape unless you had a specific battle chip called Escape. Now you can actually attempt to run away from fights. We're not going to be doing that yet. We're going to actually follow the tutorial. A cannon, In that case, you can select one more. Alright, let's send this chip to the Navi. Select OK. Will do. You sent the chip data, now it's time for battle. Next, I'll explain different points as you actually fight. You can move your Navi up, down, left, and right. B fires the automatic Mega Buster, weak but handy. HPs are shown in the upper left. If they reach 0, you're dead. Above your Navi's head are the chips you just sent. Use them with A, but you can only use each once. And there you have it. That's the basics. Easy, right? Now I have a question for you. If you use your chips, but still haven't won, what do? That's right, Lan, even though you did not give an answer. The custom gauge, it slowly builds up. Once it's full, press L or R to return to custom screen. Okay, let's do some actual virus busting. Good luck. Yeah, that custom bar takes about 8 seconds to fill up fully, so each turn's gonna be about 8 seconds. Good job, now for the next problem. Next, I'll explain about support chips. Not all chips are weapons. For example, this area grab chip gives you room to move. This combined with the wide sword is an effective tactic. But you can only pick the same chip with it, right? You raise an interesting point, Lan. Look here. See the alphabet letters? This is called a chip code. You can pick different chips if they have the same code. You'll see later, but area grab and wide sword both have L codes, so you can select them together. Speaking of which, some chips have a star code. It's like a joker. It can go with anything. Please remember, that is another new feature in this game. The star code is brand new. Lets you use it with any other chip, basically. It counts as any code. It is so handy. Now let's pair L chips. Try area grab, then wide sword. Alright, area grab first. Okay, now select wide sword. Alright, let's send this chip to the Navi. Select OK. You sent the chip data. Time to test our strategy. Now let me go over our strategy again. First, we'll use area grab with A. That will steal the farthest left square from the virus's side, so your Navi can move more. Next, go to that stolen area and use the wide sword. Just watch out for the virus's attacks when you're near it. Alright class, good luck. So as she said, area grab will steal the leftmost column from the enemy, not necessarily the leftmost square, and allow us to move a little bit further, getting us closer and using wide sword to hit both of those metars that were up front at once. Okay, this time try sending chip data by yourself. Alright, we could go another area grab wide sword combo, but let's go ahead and use a shotgun. No, let's use a mini bomb. Try a variety of chips. Back up one, throw the bomb, and gotcha. Good job! Now for the last problem. Finally, I'll talk about open folder. Almost done, class. And as we get into this, I'm gonna note real quick, this was completely different in the first game. It is completely different here, and the way they have it now is how it lasts for most of the rest of the franchise. It does change again eventually, but we'll get into that later. For the most part, this is going to be how it works for the rest of the franchise. This is a technique to add up to 5 chips in the custom window. Having more chips means more combinations. Now, in the bottom right of the custom window, see the add button. If you don't like your chip selection, select the chips you don't need and press the add button. The selected chips will be removed and you'll have to fight with that turn without them. But you'll get that many new chips the next turn. You can make more combinations, giving you a comeback chance. Okay, let's practice. These 3 recovery 10s take too much space. Select 3 recovery 10s before pressing the add button. So yeah, in the previous game how it worked was you would just select no chips and click add, and on the next turn you'd get 5 more chips for a total of 10 in your folder. And then if you do add again, you can get up to 15 chips in total. This time you can see the maximum chips you can have at once is 10, and it's more of a discard system. We discard these 3 recovery 10s, and on the next turn, we will have 8 chips in our folder. So let's do it. Okay, now pass 1 turn without the chips. Mega Man, I'll send new chips. It'll take 1 turn. Alright, let's just go ahead and bait these metars around. Waiting for our turn to end so we can go ahead and... Okay, now open the custom window. Ta-da! The number of available chips grew by 3 because you chose 3. Now you'll have no problem deleting these viruses. Go on. Alright, we've got a wide variety of chips we could use, but I think we're going to go for 2 cannons and a mini bomb. Hit you with our cannon, you with another cannon, and last one with the mini bomb. You did extremely well, Lan, as usual. That's it for today. Come run the program again tomorrow. Done, finally. Hey, new mail. Who's it from? It's from Dex. He wants me at the square right away. Whoops, I totally forgot. Then I'm off. If any viruses pop up, bust them good. I mean, to be fair, we were doing homework as Mom told us. Where you is? Hurry your butt down to the square with Mega Man. Working on it, Dex. Alright, before we head towards the square, let's go ahead and check a couple more things. Here in the pause menu, we have many menus we can take a look at. Our folder is where all of our chips are. Our primary folder is going to be the actual 30 chips that we have available during fights. The chips that appear in our custom window will be randomly selected from these 30 in our folder. But we don't just have these 30, we also have a backpack. Currently empty, but if we do pick up any extra chips, they'll be in here and we'll be able to swap them into our folder as desired. You must always have exactly 30 chips in your folder. You can never have less, you can never have more. So it's up to you. Which 30 chips out of the ones you have do you think would be a good combination? It's a deck builder game. I love it a lot, but it's also like the only deck builder I actually enjoy. Next up, if we head down to sub chips, we'll be getting into what these do later, but they are new to Battle Network 2. Further down, we have the library, which is just a list of every single chip we've collected at least one of in the game. So far, we have 11 unique chips total, out of a maximum of 250. There are 250 unique chips in this game. We're going to be collecting all of them. If we hit right here, we can go to the Program Advanced memo, or the PA memo. We'll be getting into Program Advances much later on, but suffice to say they are very nice little combo attacks is what we'll say for now. That's honestly a perfect description. They're combo attacks, but we'll get into it. Next up, Mega Man, our status menu. We can see our current level in the top right, which is just a combination of how many upgrades we've gotten. We can see our Buster status. We have 1 attack, 1 rapid, 1 charge. We'll be getting to all of that later. In the top left, we can see our current maximum HP is 100. And there's a little button there that says press X to go to download chip. Let's check this out real quick. This is new to the Legacy Collection. These 5 chips here in the download chip menu are all, I believe they were all event exclusive chips. You could only get them if you were playing when the game first came out and you went to very specific in-person events where you could actually get these chips. Naturally, that's not really possible since it's been like 20 years since this game came out. Not really possible to go to those events that happened 20 years ago. Thankfully though, this download menu allows us to download those secret exclusive chips, which are also very powerful post-game chips, so we're not going to be getting them until the post-game. We will get them eventually, I just wanted to show they're there for now. You can get them now if you want, there is no shame in it. I just want to hold off until much later on when they're not going to make everything really easy. Next up we have our mail, where our email is. Next up is our key items, which we just have the pet for now. And then the last menu is the network. I'm not going to hop into this yet, but this is where you can do multiplayer, which in the original games, on the Game Boy Advance, you would do over a link cable with someone else on Game Boy Advance. But this isn't on Game Boy Advance. The Wii U re-release on Virtual Console changed the network menu so that it didn't work because you couldn't do the multiplayer on Wii U, but it did give you access to the download chips that are available here. But since that's moved up into the Mega Man menu, the network has been restored. Here on the Legacy Collection, which I'm playing on Switch, there is a full server system with full online multiplayer and tournaments. I would like to check this out eventually. I can't guarantee I will. I would like to show this off with playing against friends, but it depends on if those friends actually, have been playing Legacy Collection Battle Network and want to help me show that off. I'm hoping they'll be more than happy to show it off with me, but we'll get to that when we get to it. I'm really hoping though. It just depends. My friends have their own lives and I can't force them to play through Battle Network 2 so they can show off the network with me. And then our last 2 menus are of course the save menu and returning to the game. Alright, last thing we're showing off. In the library. As we go through the game, since this is a chip collection game, this is effectively a trading card game in a sense. Kind of. I'm going to, every time we get a new unique chip, kind of go over a little bit about what it is and how it works. You'll get these fancy little graphics popping up showing you all the info you really need about the chip, how it works, and a little bit of a video showing how to use it or how it's used. So let's get started. First off, number 1, cannon. A cannon for attacking one enemy. Very basic attack, just does 48 damage to whatever enemy is in front of you. Shotgun explodes one square behind. It hits not only the enemy in front of you, but the square directly behind them with splash damage, doing 30 damage to both squares. Very handy if you can line up enemies. V-Gun explodes 2 diagonal squares, similar to the shotgun, but the splash damage is not directly behind the enemy, but on the behind diagonals from the enemy. Also very useful. Very much depends on how you have the enemies set up. You can move them around and manipulate them to get a good shot in. Next up, going further down, Mini Bomb throws a bomb 3 squares ahead. It will only hit the square exactly 3 ahead of where you're standing, so you need to aim precisely. But 50 damage is nothing to sneeze at. Worth pointing out as we're going through that all the chips that we're looking at will have elements as well. So far the only element we have seen is Null, which is the dot in the middle of that square. But we will be getting to more elements as time goes on. I believe there's 4... In addition to Null, I think there's 4 elements total. Next up, Sword cuts enemy in front, range is 1, does 80 damage to the square immediately in front of you. It has a very limited range, but it's very powerful. Wide Sword cuts enemy in front, range is 3. It will attack the square in front of you, as well as the squares above and below that. Effectively, if you're in the middle row, it'll hit the column directly in front of you, but if you're on the top or bottom, it'll only hit most of the column. Very handy. You want to line that up. It can hit multiple enemies at once with a lot of damage. It's beautiful. Next up, if we head further down, much further down, all the way to chip number 115, Panel Out 1 destroys 1 panel in front of you. Very useful. Utility chip. Prevents enemies from moving into whatever square is directly in front of you. And if an enemy has a ground-based attack, like Metars have a shockwave that travels around along the ground, which we will see later, or we did see in the tutorial, it can prevent those ground-based attacks from traveling towards you. Very, very handy utility weapon. I don't necessarily make as much use of it as I probably could or should, but it is definitely an option if you like your utility chips. Next up, chip number 120 is Recovery 10. Heals 10 HP when you use it. These used to be not that useful in Battle Network 1. They are way more useful in Battle Network 2 and onwards. We'll get into why in the next episode. But your recovery chips, you're gonna want them in your folder probably. Next up, we have Area Grab, seals the leftmost column from the enemy. It does have a few quirks. If there's an enemy standing in a square that it's trying to steal, it won't steal the square that the enemy's standing in, but it will do about 10 damage to them. And because of that, because it can fail to steal individual squares, it will only steal the column, the leftmost column, which has any enemy squares in it. So if there's one square in a column that belongs to the enemies, it will steal just that square and nothing else. But that's usually not something you need to worry about. Just remember that it does have a slight quirk in that sense. Next up, Escape. While we can try to escape from battles ourselves by pressing L, it is not always guaranteed to work. The Escape chip is a basically guaranteed escape from battle, with the exception that escaping from battle just simply does not work when you're fighting bosses. Like, no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to escape from bosses. But Escape, the chip, is a guaranteed escape if you need it and if you're having trouble using L to get out. And the last chip we start out with is all the way down here. Here we are, Attack plus 10. Brand new set of chips in Battle Network 2. Very good utility chips. They take whatever previous attack chip you have selected and increase the damage it does or the healing it does. So say you select a cannon and then an attack plus 10. That attack plus 10 will make the cannon do 10 more damage for a total of 50. It does have a few quirks. If you select a shotgun and then a cannon and then an attack plus 10, the shotgun will do regular damage, the cannon will get the buff. It only buffs the prior attack chip that you selected, or healing chip. The other quirk is if you select an attack plus 10 and then a cannon, the attack plus 10 is just wasted. It's not going to apply to the cannon. It has to be after the attack chip. You can also stack these. You can select multiple attack plus 10s to get plus 10, plus 20, plus 30, however many attack plus 10s you use. So they can stack. You just need to remember you select it after the attack chip. It only applies to one attack chip. Or healing chip. I need to be specific about that. It does also work on healing chips for healing you more. And that is the 11 chips that we start the game with. Future chips that we show off as we collect them, I'm not going to go into the library and do an in-depth explanation like that. I'll just show the graphic and the short video of how it works on screen, and I might do a little bit of description as we pick them up. But other than that, that's going to be the most in-depth we go on chips. I'm going to make sure that there's enough information, but we're not going to dive into the library every single time we get a new chip. So don't worry about me wasting time or anything. Not going to do that. Anyways, with that, with our tutorials out of the way, next time on Mega Man Battle Network, what do you say we head out onto the net to go find Dex and his Guts Man? I'll see everyone next time for that.